same. There's other things in the news, though, that we are kind of keeping an eye on. So I don't know if you guys heard of Gabby Petito, but Puzzled has us a story to listen to.
So, Sylvie's a dick.
Fucking Sylvie.
Are you okay?
Facts.
Ditto, Pixie, ditto.
She's 61. Yes, that's what we were saying. Heck yeah. Same page. So Gabby and her fiance, Laundry, they decided to go on a road trip. And Gabby is breaking out into blogging and having her own travel websites and all those sorts of things. And so they decide to take a road trip, and throughout the entire road trip, Gabby had been very involved with her family, text messages, photos, FaceTimes, updating her Instagram, working on her website. And August 27th is when they came home, or September 1st is when he got home. And she was not with him. He did not tell anybody that she did not come home with him. And it was not till 10 days after the fact that she was finally reported missing. Authorities may have finally located her body, and it has been, I was going to say a wild ride, but that's rude. This has been a heartbreaking journey to follow this story. We actually all just saw today police camera footage of Gabby and fiance Laundry being pulled over by authorities, and watching Gabby, you can tell she is distressed. She is upset. There's a lot of things going on right here. The only reason they were pulled over was actually because where they were the night before, somebody had seen Laundry attacking Gabby, chasing after her. Her hands were up, his hands were up. And so it was kind of like a domestic violence call report. Yeah. So, Dom, I'm just going to say this on that fact. He has done everything he can to make himself look guilty. So if there's something that does make him not guilty, I will be surprised and a little relieved, because, but a few people have kind of gone through the police cam footage, and they've actually dissected how she talks, how her body movements are, and they basically come to the conclusion that she was being manipulated. She was being abused. He got mad because I was working too much on my website. Oh, it's my fault because I was making us late. And like all of these phrases that are typical abuse victim phrases and body language. And so somehow a YouTuber, Red, White, and Blommer, was that right?
I'm not sure.
I
can find
believe so. Yeah, I don't remember their name, but it was Red, White, something after that, like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the YouTuber that they uploaded footage in Wyoming and they saw their van?
Yep.
Okay.
So they stopped to look at the van. Not really stopped, but they recognized the van because it had the Florida license plates, but they didn't know at that time what was going on. So later, yes, they got into an argument. And so later when this travel couple are going across their old footage, I was trying to say video and footage at the same time. They see the van and they're like, oh yeah, oh hey, that fits the description of this national case that's going on. Holy shit. Sing mode. Norma, take it away.
Yeah, so Landry gets home. Her mother reports Gabby missing on September 11th. And Landry doesn't want to talk at all. Like, he is just not, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He immediately lawyers up. He refuses to give a statement. And then he issued a statement through his lawyer, and it was very, lawyery, like, we regret it, blah, 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 like, for the family, but, we're just remaining in the background at this time. Then her family releases a statement, and then there was some footage of, like, people on Landry's, hold on, Pixie, when you go back and see her body language, you see often she nods when she talks to the cop. You can tell she's a sensitive people pleaser type, and that conversation did not resonate with her to stay away from him that night. Exactly, Pixie. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she had all the signs there. Like, they're gonna put him in a hotel because she was the aggressor, right? And you can see by the way he was talking with the cops, he was just like, oh yeah, like, she just kind of like scratched me, like, she just kind of came at me, and they're kind of like, kind of joking around, like he's kind of making light of the situation. The cop's like, yeah, you have a mark right here. And I think they do what they can to, they do what they can to, like, try to de-escalate in the situation and be like, okay, you're going to meet to a hotel, you're going to stay in your van, and, stay separated for the night. But beyond that, it's like your own personal accountability. But how can you be personally accountable if you've been conditioned and basically mentally abused for so long?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, off my
Stockholm syndrome is real.
Right? So September...
Peach, blink twice if you need help.
I'm good.
Okay.
I was going to say that previously, before this trip, she had been living in his mom's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because they were working on the van to get ready for this trip. So they were going on this cross-country 4-month trip, and they were making their van like a movable, like you see it all over TikTok. Like they redesign these vans to be van like travel. Yeah, van lives. So September 17th, his family reported Landry to be missing. So he went out on a hike of some trails that he frequently does, and he was supposed to be back by one day. He's not back. Family goes to the park. They find his car. There's a sticker on it that says, "Move your car, going to be towed." They leave it that night in hopes that he would drive. He would drive back. The next day, he doesn't come back. They go and get his car, and he is nowhere to be found. And then yesterday, we got the update, or last night to this morning, that Gabby's body has been found in Wyoming. When there's connections placing both of them there right around the time her communication stops. So where did Landry go? Did he unalive himself, or did he flee?
Well, the one thing me and Puzzled were watching earlier is that he might be in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, evidently there was a picture came out of him in Puerto Rico on something, and then his they believe he was messaging from her phone saying that she was in Puerto Rico with him. Was that what they were? No, I get that wrong.
Okay. One thing
I
know
on that video, so I just came into Puerto Rico.
One of the biggest conspiracies behind the case is that she's been dead for longer, and that he's been messaging on her behalf because the grammar changes, right?
So for a bit after she had kind of stopped posting on Instagram, the Instagram account got deleted. And then within like 1 to 2 days, it comes back online. It was like, oops, that was an accident. And the posts started coming again, but they were much different from Gabby's normal posting.
Yeah, it's 100% confirmed.
I would say the video we watched, I guess the confirmation on the body about being Gabby, but they're doing the autopsy tomorrow. Don't know why they didn't want to get it done today, but we're gonna hear some new news tomorrow.
They probably just needed things to calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, is that you have all these different theories. So like this Puerto Rico theory or conspiracy. We were kind of talking about it before the podcast, but The true crime community can be a little toxic. Like, I love true crime just from like an awareness basis. Like, why do people do? I like to know why people do the things that they do. Like, I work from the why in every aspect of my life, and like the psychology is interesting to me. But you don't see me wearing a T-shirt with Jeffrey Dahmer on my, like that to me is really tacky. And people that glorify these details and they say things like, this is a thrilling case. No, it's not. These are human lives. Like, these are people. She suffered. She was abused. Like, it's not for your entertainment. Have some
We are not here to be
decency.
fangirls to the serial killers.
And we talked
Exactly.
about that a little bit earlier, right? Like, we've been a little desensitized to these events because of watching and learning about like all the documentaries. It does desensitize you a little bit, right? So I can see how seeing one play out before your eyes, one of these true lie or true crime documentaries, just play out in front of you, for a lot of people could be a thrill, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, think about the start of like the 24-hour news network. Around that time, the Scott Peterson case came out, where the Scott and Lacey Peterson, where in, I think California, she was pregnant, she went missing, they found her body in like a marina, and the news, it was like a sensation around this terrible case, and it can impede the investigation by a lot, by people thinking that they're their own detectives and driving by these people's houses. Like, it's tacky and it's gross.
It's like
Have
going
fun
to
at
your
work, Ryzen.
have fun at work, Ryzen.
Bye.
It's like taking your kid to go see their favorite YouTuber at their house. Like, you just don't fucking do that.
But that one has a blue check mark on above the door.
I mean, it makes sense for the internet to come together in certain cases, like the "Don't fuck with cats" videos. The internet came together. They found the people based off the very short amount of footage that they were able to get their hands on.
Or like the internet kind
And
of teaming up against all the Karens, right?
and it's good that these people with the blogs and the video footage that are able to go back and say, "Oh, look, I have something that could help." But they're not detectives. They can't be on the case. And detectives have to be careful about what information they release, because as soon as people who go viral, news stations, anybody gets their hands on this information, they're going to put it out there. We have the exclusive first look. We have, the only thing that you're going to hear today. And that could tip off the killer or
Yeah.
suspects.
Yeah, or you on the flip side, you have people who, will claim that they did the crime, right? Because they have intimate details of the case. Like police, like investigators, they usually hold some details behind so they can confirm that the confession's legit.
Yeah.
It's just very sad. And I have to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. They did not confirm that that was Gabby's body, but they do believe that it is her. Um, how do
And
we know
that's the
he
thing,
understood?
Dom, is we don't know 100% that he did. That's what I was saying earlier. Everything he's done has been made to look like he has done it. So if he didn't, I'll be surprised and a little bit relief. If he did,
I would guess it would be the autopsy that would give us more information about, cause of death.
yeah.
I mean, how we don't know it's not COVID, right? Too soon.
He said. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this case too. Like, I have a bunch of Google alerts for a lot of different stuff. So, I hope that Gabby's family, gets the peace and justice that they deserve, and they find out what happened to her, as well as Landry. Like, I hope that he's okay, and if he did do this crime, I hope that he gets what's coming to him. But it's such a weird case. It's very weird. There's a lot of details that we don't know.
Hey, I didn't say that, Dom.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And in one of the videos, the narrator talked about it being shocking that Laundry. I've heard it both ways.
Probably Landry.
I said I've been saying Landry. I don't. It might be Laundry.
Um,
I would
He
say it was
said-
Landry over laundry. Just saying.
Yeah.
that we were really surprised there wasn't a tail on him. If he's a person of interest, why isn't there at least some sort of, somebody keeping tabs? How is he able to just disappear?
Yeah.
Especially in a high-profile case.
Yeah.
I mean, some people still say Epstein didn't kill himself, right? Like, I think a lot of things can happen in police custody, and we're just not paying attention anymore.
True.
Yeah.
I know it's a bummer topic to end on.
What are we doing this week?
Hot
Crazy?
take. Hang on a second. Pixie, we have a chat from Pixie. Hot take, her personality type is often rooted from her upbringing. The anxiety, shyness, pensiveness, overly agreeable. It is to help prevent conflict. Facts. It's a trauma response. So it doesn't surprise me that she was potentially involved with a difficult person. Her dad seemed a little overprepared and ready for those interviews and social media posts. I don't think he is involved in her death, but I don't hear 100% genuine when I see her dad's interviews, to be honest. Again, a hot take. I have no facts, just bad vibes.
Oh.
Sometimes
You're
you gotta
absolute-
trust your vibes.
You're absolutely right, Pixie. Like, we were talking about it, Peach and I, about how we could listen for the sound of our parents' footsteps and like know if they're angry or not. And that's like a trauma response. Really, it is. And like I'm a people pleaser too, and it's just because you want to avoid, the confrontation for the most part.
Yeah,
I
same.
hope that's not the case. That's awful. Well, that wraps up another great episode. And don't forget to join our amazing and supportive community on Discord.
In our Discord, you can find game nights, watch parties, food pics, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. What's not to love about that? We have a little something for everyone. Head over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find more info, especially our featured Gamer of the Week.
Speaking of something for everyone, we have a book club. We read a book almost every month and talk through it together. We also have a special perk for our subs to discuss other books in a series called Chapter 2.
Don't forget to swing by YouTube and drop us a follow at Official Millennials. You can also find us on Twitter at MillsOfficial. We appreciate all the support, and y'all have a good one.
This is an Official Millennials production.